he's got on his webpage a picture. Apparently, Walker picked up the sign that he had and is holding it. So, somebody snapped a picture, and they're saying, "Now, well, this will backfire on Walker because he's holding up a sign that says, 'Warning: Don't let Scott Walker do to America what he did to Wisconsin.'" And it's like, it's just so immature. It doesn't even make any sense what they're trying to do.
The thing is, why these protesters are going down there, the man, they can't heckle him here because the man will not make a public appearance here. But why doesn't he stand up in front of the people here in the state of Wisconsin? Anytime he has anything, it's all by invite only, or he goes to some business that some of his supporters own, and they make the poor working people sit there and listen to him, and they can't say nothing because they're afraid to lose their job.
Well, I mean, Walker isn't a guy. He's not really a confrontational guy. He's not like a Chris Christie. He doesn't like to do that.
Walker is a coward. He's a coward. He tells you if you listen to every one of his speeches, at one point or another, he's going to say something about the 100,000 protesters that he never faced because he hid in the tunnels. He's going to say something about he's a coward.
Well,
he doesn't like confrontation because he's too dumb to make it. He can't come up with an argument unless somebody tells him what to say.
Well, because he probably wants to say,
impossible for him.
Well, Dave from Monona. Hello, Dave.
And he can't handle confrontation. Look how
you heard what he did. You heard what he did. He said, "I'm not intimidated by you, sir." And his people started screaming. What's that?
Of course he's intimidated because he acknowledged them, and he got frustrated with them yesterday.
How do you not acknowledge people who are like screaming during your appearance? Of course you're going to do that.
You just answered your question. He acknowledged them and got flustered and frustrated.
Whatever.
He'll make a mistake and start saying things. You got to remember, Mitch, Wisconsin, they let him off the hook with all the stuff that he did. They're not going to do that in Iowa.
We may get a call from Mike Dickman, who was in fact, that could be him right there, at the protest in Iowa yesterday. And good morning, Mr. Dickman.
Good morning.
My theory is that you emboldened people who might have wanted to leave Walker because he was sinking in the polls, and then when protesters show up, the opponents always get their backs up.
There were some Walker supporters there, but I'm going to be honest. There was probably, maybe 150 people there, maybe 30 or 40 were supporting Walker. They started getting angry and yelling at us, and I said, hey, look, I'm from Wisconsin. Why would I drive all the way down here if the guy was doing a great job? Would I actually waste my time to try and make a guy look bad? Really? I mean, I got other things in life that are more important than just driving around making up stuff. So,
are you the guy? He said, "I'm not intimidated by you. I'm not intimidated by you, sir." Was that you?
No, that was a young man up front who was just holding a sign. And I know people thought that Walker grabbed it out of his hand, but actually I think it was a couple people up there. But they started, there's charges being pressed against some of Walker's fans. They were shoving people around that were wearing knee braces and stuff.
Psychologically, there are things called blind spots. There's also the mechanism of denial. And I think many of the people who are the blue fisters, they just don't get how the rest of us who pay the taxes watch them down at the Capitol, and we're disgusted by our public servants lying to their bosses, skipping work and expecting to get paid, showing up down there. It's just ridiculous. I haven't voted for Scott Walker. I really never cared for him. But man, it's like if I get my ass beat 4 times by somebody, I start respecting him and saying, he's got something I don't, and I better start listening.
We'll come back and let Mike respond to that. Not everybody's marching in lockstep out there. Good morning, Steve. So you were motivated by the protesters, is my guess.
Oh, hugely.
Right?
Hugely.
Hugely.
I mean, when Doyle did, increase taxes, I wasn't happy, but I didn't go crying to the Capitol and make a ruckus. I just figured I'll just vote for somebody else next time. And when Walker was fairly elected, I don't think anybody agrees with that, at least the first time around. I know now some of the far left people are saying, well, it was massive voter fraud.